What's up, YouTube? My name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka what kind of snatch you want, because I play and go around. As you can tell by the title, the thumbnail, and the video by itself, this is my WWE Raw review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more rest content I do on the channel, and go check out my AEW Forbidden Door review on highlights, and follow my social media down below in the description. Now let's get started. Now WWE Raw was a decent show for what it was. Alright, WWE Raw was live from Birmingham, England. Commentary tonight with Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Then Now Forever Together. The WWE leads us into the show. Video package last Monday on Raw. Main event Jey Uso battled Braun Breaker in Extreme Rules in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. After interference from the Vision, LA Knight and CM Punk ran out for the save, but they were overwhelmed. Roman Reigns then returned to even the odds. The WWE drone flies us over Birmingham, England. Pre-show arrivals. LA Knight is showing arriving at the arena. He'll battle Braun Breaker later today. Rhea Ripley is also showing entering. She will battle Roxanne Perez. WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella is shown walking backstage. She'll call out WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship Becky Lynch. Roman Reigns kicks off WWE Raw. Alright, it says right here, an OTC chant picks up before the crowd explodes as Roman Reigns' music starts to play. Roman Reigns makes his entrance and takes his time getting to the ring. Roman Reigns stands in the middle of the ring and listens to the crowd loudly sings his name before transitioning to an OTC chant. Roman Reigns smiles as he walks around the ring. They then sing, "If you love Roman Reigns, stand up." This is a wild crowd. We get another OTC chant, and Roman Reigns has to chuckle. 10 minutes into the show, Roman Reigns finally speaks. Roman Reigns says they could do this all night, but he's got to get to it. Roman Reigns says Birmingham acknowledgement, and OTC chant fires up. Roman Reigns says it feels like old times. They still sound the same, which is loud as you know what. Roman Reigns has big plans for the night and the rest of this year and next year. If he's being real, he's got to be honest with himself. They acknowledge him, but he has to acknowledge something to himself to move forward. It feels like old times. It sounds like old times, but it's not the old times anymore. He's not the same guy he used to be. And yes, you and our chant picks up. Roman Reigns says maybe I can be. Cody Rhodes predicted it a year and a half ago. There are some balls, and Roman Reigns says interesting. Roman Reigns mentioned Seth Rollins in the Vision, which draws boos. They followed through on what they said and took everything from him. There is a momentarily cheer from the crowd. Realize that what Roman Reigns said was bad. They then chant "F you, Seth Rollins." Roman Reigns says he felt that way for a long time. Roman Reigns says he doesn't have everyone here, everything he used to have. Roman Reigns doesn't have a bloodline. Yet, chant picks up. Roman Reigns says since they brought him up, he has to say he's proud of Jey Uso. Anyone questions he's been in the Fatal 4-Way match in Paris is wrong. Jey Uso won their match and scored the pinfall. Jey Uso has the rematch clause, so he should fight for the championship. Roman Reigns says his time will come. Then they took his bloodline, his wise man, and his title. They then had to find more to make from him. That brings him to Big Bronson Reed, the tribal thief. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman walks out to the stage with the tribal thief, Bronson Reed. Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns' former wise man, introduced himself, but he's upset that the crowd was chanting with him. Paul Heyman restarts and says he stands before them tonight with the realest gangster to hit Birmingham since Peaky Blinders. He's the tribal thief, the owner of the Shula Fala. Who comes up with that? Shula Fala. But anyway, Big Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman says they were sitting in the back. Bronson Reed pointed out that it was 5 years ago this very week that Brock Lesnar advocated became Roman Reigns' wise man. The crowd chants "Shut the F up" for 5 years. This dude created a bloodline. For 5 years, this duo owned everything that there was to own in WWE and changed this entire industry together. Now he looks at Roman Reigns standing all alone in the ring. Another OTC champ fires up. Paul Heyman says, "I miss you, my tribal chief. I love you 5 years ago, and I love you now, which is why I came out here tonight to disrespect you, my tribal chief." The crowd sings Roman Reigns' name. Paul Heyman then starts to sing Bronson's name, but the crowd only sings for Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed look disgusted. Paul Heyman says he's not here to disrespect Roman Reigns out of malice. It's out of the love he was speaking of before he was so rudely interrupted by the people who are not tough enough to live in Manchester or rich enough to live in London. Well, Roman Reigns needs is the tough love Paul Heyman used to offer. This is tough love a wise man and an oracle can give to a tribal chief. Paul Heyman isn't man enough to beat that tough love into Roman Reigns at WWE Clash in Paris, but Bronson Reed is. Roman Reigns says, "Hey, you know what? On Sunday in Paris, you're gonna kiss my you know what because I'm gonna whoop his you know what." The crowd cheers and chants OTC. Bronson Reed takes the microphone and says, "At Clash in Paris, it's not about receipts. It's about disrespect." Bronson Reed says he's the guy who is going to kick Roman Reigns. You know what? Bronson Reed knows Roman Reigns is an educated man, but it's time for a history lesson. Roman Reigns' tribe for a Samoan is civilized. Bronson Reed's tribe isn't. His tribe was exiled to Australia. Roman Reigns' tattoo are paid for. Bronson Reed were earned. A shut the F up chant picks up. Bronson Reed says he's the Samoan that Roman Reigns' dad and uncle warned him about. At Clash in Paris, Roman Reigns will find out why. Roman Reigns is confused and questions if Bronson Reed is Samoan. Why didn't anyone say that? That means Bronson Reed's you know what belongs to him. Roman Reigns suggests they start it over. He'll give Bronson Reed one more shot since they cut off from the same fabric. How about Bronson Reed come down and return his shoes? Apologize to his people for wasting their time. Acknowledge him and never seen disrespect back to him. The crowd chants, "Give his shoes back." Bronson Reed gives Roman Reigns the shoe La Fala and says Roman Reigns doesn't want him to come down there. If he comes down there, he'll force Roman Reigns to acknowledge his tribal thief. Roman Reigns says he's right about one thing. Bronson Reed won't have to come down here because he'll go up to him. Roman Reigns gets out of the ring and Bronson Reed meets him halfway. They brawl before Bronson Reed sends him head first into the ring post. Bronson Reed headbutts him and gets him in the ring. Security runs down to separate them. This is the part I hate about WWE. Let Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed fight. I hate that security guys got to continue to keep coming out every week and breaking things up. Let Roman Reigns and Big Bronson Reed fight. And that's all I got to say. Anyway, let me continue because I'm speaking facts by myself. Bronson Reed punches the guards away and avalanches Roman Reigns' security into him. Bronson Reed starts trying to steal Roman Reigns' sneakers, but he kicks him away. Bronson Reed smooches him with a senton splash and heads to the top rope. More security runs down, but Bronson Reed ignores them. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce runs down. Bronson Reed is on the top rope, but Roman Reigns sends him to the floor with a Superman punch, and OTC champ picks up. WWE officials and security stand in the ring and stands in Roman Reigns' way, but he gets out of the ring and leaps onto Bronson Reed and the security guards. They eventually pull apart. And this segment right here, this was pretty good for what it was. But one thing I did not like about doing this segment was security guards was breaking up Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. Let them fight. That's all I gotta say. You gotta give the people what they really want and what they what they asked for and what they came to see. That's all I gotta say. Alright, that was a pretty good segment about Roman Reigns. Backstage segment: World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonald are walking backstage. WWE Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio was behind them and starts to talk to El Grande Americano. Finn Balor asks what is going on, but Dominic Mysterio tells him not to worry. Replay last week on Raw: Finn Balor and JD McDonald defeated Dragon Lee and Mr. Iguana. AAA Mega Champion El Hydro Del Ranquino attacked, but the Judgment Day took him out. Dominic Mysterio then hit him with a frog splash. Alright, so we get the first match. Dragon Lee versus Royal Tag Team Champion JD McDonald, accompanied by one half of the World Tag Team Champion Finn Balor. And this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie, this was a decent match for what it was. The bell rings, they lock up, they toss it to the corner. Dragon Lee ducks a chop away at JD McDonald's chest. Dragon Lee hits JD McDonald with a dragon screw before hitting a running kick. Dragon Lee sweeps the feet and hits a slingshot corner drop kick. Dragon Lee charged, but JD McDonald knocks him down. JD McDonald distracts the referee, but she catches Finn Balor attempting to interfere. Referee Jessica Carr ejects Finn Balor from ringside. JD McDonald talks to Finn Balor at ringside, so Dragon Lee hits him with a somersault senton. Dragon Lee gets JD McDonald in the ring and goes to the top rope. Dragon Lee leaps, but JD McDonald drop kicks him out of midair. So we go to commercial break. Back from the break, both men are down. Following a superplex, they soon get up and trade punches. JD McDonald charges, but Dragon Lee sidesteps him and hits a snapping and release German suplex. Dragon Lee then hits a poison rana. Dragon Lee hits the ropes, but JD McDonald wipes him out with a standing Spanish fly for a near fall. JD McDonald grabs him, but Dragon Lee fights back. JD McDonald cross through the legs. Dragon Lee flips through a clothesline, but JD McDonald counters with a powerbomb attempt. Dragon Lee gets out and hits an unreal Tiger Bomb that basically spikes JD McDonald on the back of his head for a near fall. Unbelievable. Dragon Lee goes to the top rope, but JD McDonald hits the ropes to crush him. JD McDonald chops the chest and climbs to the top rope. Dragon Lee punches him, hanging him on the ropes, and hits a double stomp down to the canvas. 1-2. JD McDonald gets his foot on the bottom rope. Dragon Lee knees JD McDonald in the face before hitting the ropes, but WWE Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio trips him. AJ Styles runs down and attacks Dominic Mysterio before sending him into the crowd. Dragon Lee gets the crowd going and removes his elbow pad. Dragon Lee crushes JD McDonald with a running back elbow before hitting Operation Dragon for the win. The winner by pinfall, Dragon Lee. This was a decent match for what it was. Backstage interview. Jackie Redman is backstage with Kathy Kelly. She mentions that CM Punk accidentally put him through a table last week, but LA Knight doesn't think it wasn't an accident. LA Knight thought CM Punk could have stop his momentum. Even if it was an accident, CM Punk didn't do anything to help him. Now CM Punk wants to work together to stop Seth Rollins. It doesn't happen that way. CM Punk is a hungry man, but his feast for mine this Sunday at Clash in Paris. The rotations are a limit. Everyone is going to bed hungry except him. LA Knight is the only one in the match who has to have a match tonight. LA Knight will face Braun Breaker tonight, but he'll be victorious. LA Knight will battle Braun Breaker later tonight. In the arena, Penta makes his entrance. He'll battle Kofi Kingston next. So we go to commercial break. Video package. Rusev says he'll never listen to people telling him how to run his career. Now he's back, he's going to destroy whoever he wants. At Clash in Paris, he'll battle Sheamus in a match of his choosing. Rusev says it's impossible to be good when you disdain to be great. Sheamus will battle Rusev in a good old fashioned Donnybrook match this Sunday at WWE Clash in Paris. So we get the Judgment Day Clubhouse. JD McDonald isn't happy that Finn Balor and Dirty Dominic Mysterio didn't help him. Raquel Rodriguez stopped them and says they have to stop arguing. Liv Morgan wouldn't want this. Dominic Mysterio says Finn Balor should handle AJ Styles. Finn Balor agrees and says he'll handle this himself. Raquel Rodriguez tells Roxanne Perez to get her head in the game because she's facing Rhea Ripley. But like I said, when Liv Morgan comes back from her injury, Liv Morgan's gonna get a huge pop from the crowd. She's gonna be a baby face, and she's gonna go after Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. That's all I gotta say. So I believe that Liv Morgan's gonna be out of the Judgment Day. So that's all I gotta say. Alright, so we get the next match. Penta versus Kofi Kingston, accompanied by Xavier Woods and Grayson Waller. And this match right here, in my honest opinion, this was a pretty good match for what it was. Grayson Waller has Corey Graves sign a petition to ban the Mexican Destroyer, the move that hurt Xavier Woods' neck. Penta quickly takes Kofi Kingston down with a running hurricanrana. Penta hits a pair of clotheslines. Kofi Kingston reverses a whip, but Penta puts the brakes on. Penta goes for a Mexican Destroyer, but Kofi Kingston gets away from it. Kofi Kingston punches Penta back and bounces him off the top rope. Kofi Kingston hits Penta with a splash for a 2 count. Kofi Kingston tells the crowd to be quiet. Kofi Kingston goes for a slingshot splash, but Penta gets his feet up before clotheslining him over the top rope. Penta sets up for a somersault senton, but the New Day runs away. So we go to commercial break. Back from the break, Kofi Kingston has Penta trapped in a weird chin lock. During the break, Kofi Kingston hit Penta with a back body drop onto the commentary table. Penta fights up, but Kofi Kingston needs him. Kofi Kingston sends him into the ropes, but he lowers his head and eats a kick. Penta hits a reverse sling blade before kicking him in the corner. Penta hits a handstand slingshot corner drop kick for a 2 count. Penta sets up for a Penta driver, but Kofi Kingston gets out and clubs him down. Kofi Kingston hits a running kick to the chest before taunting the crowd. Kofi Kingston connects with a boom drop before setting up for Trouble in Paradise, but Penta boots him. Penta hits a slingshot backstabber for a near fall. Penta goes for a Mexican Destroyer, but Kofi Kingston counters with a back body drop. Kofi Kingston hits a Famouser for a near fall. Kofi Kingston is furious with the referee's count. Penta puts Kofi Kingston on the top rope and chops him. Kofi Kingston knocks him to the apron, but Penta kicks him. Penta goes for a head scissors into the ring, but he slips off. That didn't look great. Penta comes back with a suplex, followed by a Penta driver 1-2. Kofi Kingston kicks out. Penta kicks Grayson Waller away before hitting the New Day with a somersault senton. Penta gets Kofi Kingston in the ring and goes for the second rope. Grayson Waller distracts Penta, so Kofi Kingston sweeps the feet. Kofi Kingston hits Trouble in Paradise for the win. The winner by pinfall, Kofi Kingston. This was a decent match for what it was. Grayson Waller carries Xavier Woods to the back like a baby. Kofi Kingston is fired up. Oh, so this match was this match was pretty good for what it was. Even though it was decent. But anyway, let me continue. The commentaries talk about WWE Clash in Paris. Video package: Cody Rhodes on WWE Unreal. Last Monday on Raw, Io Sky declined help for the Kabuki Warriors. Later, Io Sky was in trouble with Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, so Rhea Ripley made the save. Asuka was furious, so Io Sky flipped out. And I already know that Asuka's going to turn heel on Io Sky. I can definitely see that one coming. Alright, let me continue. Backstage segment. I don't want to see the Kabuki Warriors break up. So it's been rumored that Asuka's going to turn on Io Sky. So Asuka's going to be a heel sometime soon. Alright, backstage segment. Rhea Ripley is stretching when Io Sky walks up to her. Io Sky thanks Rhea Ripley for having her back. She respects Rhea Ripley, but Kairi Sane and Asuka are her family. They are not happy that Rhea Ripley got in their business. Io Sky says they need to keep their distance. Rhea Ripley says she respects Io Sky. If this is something she has to do, she gets it. The Kabuki Warriors are shown watching in the background. Io Sky thanks Rhea Ripley for understanding and hugs her. Asuka is not happy. Rhea Ripley will battle Roxanne Perez next. Rhea Ripley will battle Roxanne Perez later tonight. Alright, commercial break. Video package. Last Monday on Raw, Naomi announces that she's pregnant and had to forfeit the Women's World Championship. So, after Naomi forfeit the Women's World Championship because she's pregnant, which is congratulations to Naomi and Jimmy Uso for having a baby. That's a W by itself. And I know they're gonna give the Women's World Championship to Stephanie Valkyrie. They're not gonna give it to Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. So WWE is gonna give the Women's World Championship to Stephanie Valkyrie. Watch, I tell you, I can definitely see Stephanie Valkyrie getting her hands on the Women's World Championship until Naomi comes back in 9 months. All right, backstage segment. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce is backstage with Stephanie Valkyrie. Adam Pearce says she's still the number one contender, but with the title vacated, the match in Paris isn't happening. Adam Pearce needs a week and already has an opponent in mind. Stephanie Valkyrie says she wishes she could be at Clash in Paris, but she can wait. All right. So we get Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella go face to face. The man has come around. WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion demand Becky Lynch makes her way to the ring. Becky Lynch says it's a bit of mixed response. They can boo her, but this place was a big part of her journey. 13 years ago, she had her WWE trial in Birmingham. It was a dump then, and it's a dump now. Speaking of dumps, Nikki Bella thinks she can call her out to her ring. Becky Lynch is some loser. She's not Austin Villa or Birmingham City. She's not a dog who will respond to a whistle. You can look, but you can't touch. WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella walks out to the stage. Nikki Bella asks if Becky Lynch isn't a dog. Why is she acting like a little you know what? Becky Lynch is confused. Nikki Bella says Becky Lynch should put the title on the line against her. Becky Lynch says she calls the shots and won't give away title shots to broke neck Barbie. Nikki Bella says this broke neck Barbie kicks her you know what last week. Nikki Bella paved the way for her because of her. Becky Lynch has a page to write history on. Becky Lynch says Nikki Bella and her twin, the battered Bella, brought in a new audience. Becky Lynch didn't want to respect her. She wanted to replace Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella gets in the ring and mentions Becky Lynch used to be a scared little girl in the corner as Charlotte Flair's sidekick. Becky Lynch says she is no one's sidekick. She is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Sports Illustrated said it. Nikki Bella says no one cares what Sports Illustrated has to say. Nikki Bella says the people made Becky Lynch be relevant, but she crowds on them every week. Becky Lynch reeks of this desperation. A lot of people think Becky Lynch is desperate. The crowd loudly chants Becky's desperate. Becky Lynch says this is basic British behavior. 800 years of oppression in the Irish wasn't good enough for them. Nikki Bella says if this is what the band has become, has Becky Lynch lost her boss? Nikki Bella says Becky Lynch doesn't have class. She's cheap. She's cheap. Becky Lynch may be a champion, but another C word, a coward. Becky Lynch didn't think that was the C word. Becky Lynch agrees to the match. Only it will be Clash in Paris because she's not wrestling in Birmingham. The only good thing to come out here died a month ago. A fairness to Ozzy Osbourne, he moved to Los Angeles, a proper city if be as big as hers. At Clash in Paris, she'll hear that Nikki Bella is the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Alright. That was a solid segment for Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella. Becky Lynch tries to attack, but Nikki Bella knocks her down. Becky Lynch fights back and goes for a manhandle slam, but Nikki Bella gets out. Nikki Bella goes for a rack attack 2.0, but Becky Lynch escapes. Nikki Bella tosses the title to Becky Lynch and pose. Alright, so we go to backstage segment. That was a solid segment between Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch. Solid segment for what it was. Alright, backstage segment. Jackie Redman is backstage with CM Punk. CM Punk says he's not trying to be anyone's friends. He understands what is at stake. The World Heavyweight Championship at Clash in Paris. CM Punk wanted to make sure they got their together because Seth Rollins has the members. LA Knight fell through the table because he's a clumsy idiot. CM Punk is obsessed with holding the World Heavyweight Championship because he had it before it was stolen. This Sunday, he'll take it back. LA Knight will battle Braun Breaker in tonight's main event. This is my brutality. Rhea Ripley makes her way to the ring to a huge ovation. She'll battle Roxanne Perez next, so we go to commercial break. Video package. Sheamus says he earns Russo's respect, but he had to beat it out of him. It ends this Sunday at Clash in Paris. Sheamus puts Russo back on the map and will take him out. So I hope this feud between Russo and Sheamus will end. All right, let's move on. So we get the next match: Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez, accompanied by Raquel Rodriguez. And this match right here, I ain't gonna lie, this match was okay for what it was. The bell rings, Roxanne Perez immediately slaps Rhea Ripley in the face. Roxanne Perez jumps on her back, but Rhea Ripley powers her into the corner. Roxanne Perez knocks her back, but Rhea Ripley clubs her. Roxanne Perez drop kicks the knee and clubs away at her. Rhea Ripley tosses her off and hits a running drop kick. Rhea Ripley punches away at Roxanne Perez, but Roxanne Perez rolls soon out of the ring. Rhea Ripley attacks Roxanne Perez at ringside, but Roxanne Perez fights back. They get in the ring, and Rhea Ripley hit a flapjack. Rhea Ripley goes for a riptide, but Rhea Ripley slides out and gets out of the ring. The crowd chants for Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley exits the ring as Roxanne Perez gets back in. Rhea Ripley catches her attempting a suicide dive. Roxanne Perez slides off and stands behind Raquel Rodriguez. Rhea Ripley cuts off a cheap shot and gets her into the ring. Rhea Ripley gets in the ring. Face to Roxanne Perez takes Rhea Ripley out with a suicide dive. Roxanne Perez attacks the leg and hits a chop block in the ring. Roxanne Perez connects with a leg DDT. Roxanne Perez drags her to the ring post. Excuse me, but Rhea Ripley pulls her into it. Rhea Ripley gets her on the apron and goes for a powerbomb, but Roxanne Perez gets out. Roxanne Perez attacks and sidesteps a big boot before jumping onto her knee. Roxanne Perez hits Rhea Ripley with the running uppercut, followed by a double jump springboard moonsault for a 2 count. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Rhea Ripley hits a pair of short arm clotheslines, followed by a kick. Rhea Ripley goes for a Razor's Edge, but Raquel Rodriguez pulls Roxanne Perez down. Rhea Ripley grabs Raquel Rodriguez by the hair, but Roxanne Perez stops her. Roxanne Perez hits a super hurricanrana, followed by a handspring double team knee to the back of the neck for a near fall. Rhea Ripley soon fights back with a vicious headbutt and a Razor's Edge for a near fall. Rhea Ripley attacks Raquel Rodriguez before Roxanne Perez goes for a pop rock, gets out, and soon hits a headbutt. Rhea Ripley connects with a riptide for the win. The winner of the match by pinfall, Rhea Ripley. This match was okay for what it was. Raquel Rodriguez attacks Rhea Ripley from behind. Rhea Ripley fights back and goes for a riptide, but Roxanne Perez grabs the legs. Raquel Rodriguez then clotheslines Rhea Ripley down. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez double team Rhea Ripley before Io Sky runs down for the save. Io Sky hits a short uppercut on Raquel Rodriguez before hitting Roxanne Perez with a flapjack. Io Sky kicks Roxanne Perez. Raquel Rodriguez attacks Io Sky and is headbutted by Rhea Ripley. Io Sky takes Raquel Rodriguez out with a springboard missile drop kick. Io Sky pulls with Rhea Ripley. All right, locker room segment. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins is chucking at how fired up Big Bronson Reed is. Paul Heyman says Seth Rollins was right about Bronson Reed. Seth Rollins knows what he is capable of becoming. It's felt it firsthand. Seth Rollins says Paris is Reed's time. Bronson Reed will destroy Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins can't wait to see tonight. Braun Breaker will make sure LA Knight doesn't make it to Clash in Paris. This is the vision. It is everything everything they dreamed of. They are one verge of becoming so much more. Seth Rollins takes his title and leaves. Alright. Pretty cool segment. Braun Breaker will battle LA Knight in the main event. AJ Styles makes his entrance. He'll battle Finn Balor next. So we go to commercial break. Georgie Farmer of Wednesday on Netflix is at ringside. So we go to backstage segment. Rhea Ripley is backstage with Io Sky. Io Sky says she owned her for a last week. Rhea Ripley appreciates her help. The Kabuki words came up. Kairi Sane holds Asuka back. Asuka yells at Io Sky. Asuka is furious and tells Io Sky to stay away from Rhea Ripley. Kairi Sane looks really upset. Io Sky tells Kairi Sane to trust her. Kairi Sane is near tears as she says, I'm sorry to Io Sky before walking off. I already know that Io Sky is going to turn heel on Io Sky. I can definitely see that. Alright, so we get the next match. AJ Styles versus World Tag Team Champion Finn Balor. And this match right here, this match was pretty good for what it was. The bell rings. Finn Balor kicks AJ Styles before hitting a clothesline. Finn Balor sends AJ Styles out of the ring and tells the crowd. AJ Styles gets back in the ring, blocks a kick, and strikes Finn Balor to the corner. The referee pulls AJ Styles back, and Finn Balor kicks him in the midsection. AJ Styles sends him into the ropes, leapfrog him, and drops him down before hitting a drop kick before it leaves the ring to recover. AJ Styles hits a forearm plancha. Michael Cole congratulates Ash by Legends for winning the TNA Knockouts title on NXT Heat Wave, which I will be covering that review after this review. Finn Balor gets in the ring, and AJ Styles chops him. Finn Balor reverses a whip, but AJ Styles boosts him back and hits him. AJ Styles sets up for a phenomenal forearm, but Finn Balor pushes his legs out. The referee keeps Finn Balor back, but Finn Balor sidesteps him and drop kicks AJ Styles off the apron. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, AJ Styles and Finn Balor back from commercial break. Finn Balor stands over AJ Styles. Finn Balor pulls him up. AJ Styles goes for a strike combo, but Finn Balor gets away. Finn Balor goes for a running crossbody block, but AJ Styles catches him and hits a swinging backbreaker. Finn Balor slowly gets up and charges him in the corner, but AJ Styles sidesteps him. Finn Balor grabs him and goes for a falling elbow drop, but AJ Styles gets out and hits a Pele kick. AJ Styles swinging hits in your grocery for a 2 count. AJ Styles sets up for the Styles Clash, but Finn Balor fights it and draws him onto the apron. AJ Styles knocks him back and goes for a phenomenal forearm, but Finn Balor avoids it. Finn Balor connects with a sling blade. Finn Balor sides him up, and he hits a vicious Woo drop kick. Finn Balor goes for the coup de grace, but AJ Styles moves. AJ Styles goes for a calf crusher, but Finn Balor gets out. AJ Styles quickly connects with a Styles Clash for the win. The winner of the match, AJ Styles. This match was pretty good for what it was. Backstage segment, main event, Jey Uso is talking about all the things going on. He's revealed he's talking to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns says the last thing Jey Uso should do is trust CM Punk. Roman Reigns tells Jey Uso to stop worrying so much. He's been doing this for 20 years. Jey Uso needs to do this for himself. Smash them all and take it to his house. It's not about making friends or being one of the boys. It's about capturing moments. Roman says Uso has to do you. Jey Uso looks focused. Alright, still to come. We see LA Knight take on Braun Breaker. So we go to commercial break. Next week on Raw will take place in Paris, France. All air at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Time. Monday Night Raw is presented by Sneakers. Video package Bayley is shown trying to ward off her voice in her head, and her old hugger character tells her to do things the right way. Do things the right way. They were successful because they believed themselves. They believe in themselves. The role model character then cuts in and argues with a hugger character. Bayley begs the voice to stop. Alright, so we get the backstage segment. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce is with Lyra Kira. Lyra Kira says she's concerned about Bayley and wants him to check in. Adam Pearce says he will. Dirty Dominic Mysterio and the Judgment Day came up and asked if he's going to deal with AJ Styles. Dominic Mysterio says he needs more. This needs to end. Adam Pearce agrees with Dominic Mysterio. Next week on Raw in Paris, AJ Styles will take on Dominic Mysterio with the Intercontinental Champion on the line. Dominic Mysterio and Jay McDonald aren't happy. Finn Balor is seen smirking. Alright, backstage segment. A focused Braun Breaker is walked backstage with Paul Heyman and Big Bronson Reed. Roman Reigns comes out of nowhere and attacks Big Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed hit Bronson Reed with a Superman punch. Security quickly runs over, which is I hate about security guards in WWE. Let them fight. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce tells Paul Heyman to get Braun Breaker in the ring. LA Knight Braun Breaker opponent then comes up to pick up the bones, attacking Braun Breaker. LA Knight brings Braun Breaker into the arena and drives him into the video wall. LA Knight then clubs him into the crowd before bouncing him off the metal barricade. LA Knight continues to attack him down in Oswell. In Osway. Alright, so we get the main event of the evening. LA Knight versus Braun Breaker coming by Paul Heyman. And this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie. This was a fun main event match, what it was. We joined this match in progress. LA Knight is stomping Braun Breaker in the corner. Braun Breaker is still in his shirt. LA Knight hits a running knee to the face. LA Knight hits a swinging neck breaker for a 2 count. LA Knight chokes him on a rope and boots him in the face. Braun Breaker then says to fight. Back with shoulder thrusts in the corner. Braun Breaker soon hits the ropes and a wild speed for a shoulder tackle. Braun Breaker says LA Knight about one word. He's got nothing else. Braun Breaker punches away at LA Knight and chokes him on a metal rope. Braun Breaker pulls him up and tosses him with an overhead belly throw. Braun Breaker takes his shirt off and hits LA Knight with the German suplex. Braun Breaker sizes him up, but LA Knight fights back with some stinging jabs. LA Knight hits a side leg sweep before hitting a clothesline over the top rope. LA Knight sort of hits a baseball slide. LA Knight talks trash to Logan Paul. Paul Heyman before going to Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker pulled LA Knight into the commentary table. Braun Breaker drives him into the apron and sends him hard to the ring steps. So we go to commercial break. Back from the final break of the evening, LA Knight fights up with a weird chin lock. LA Knight rolls Braun Breaker up for a 2 count. LA Knight goes for a neck breaker, but Braun Breaker holds to the ropes. Braun Breaker attacks LA Knight on the ropes, but LA Knight knocks him away. Braun Breaker scales the ropes for a Breaker-Steiner for a near fall. Braun Breaker sizes LA Knight up for a spear, but LA Knight kicks him in the face. Braun Breaker military press him, but LA Knight counters it into a DDT. Paul Heyman shouts instructions As Braun Breaker slowly gets up, Braun Breaker and LA Knight exchange right hands. Braun Breaker shows him away, but LA Knight does a pair of strikes before hitting a diving clothesline. LA Knight shoves him into the corner and hits a neck breaker. They bought something that nearly turned catastrophe, but LA Knight recovers from a reverse DDT. LA Knight goes to the second rope, does his stunt, and leaps to the top rope, but Braun Breaker avoids it. LA Knight goes for a blunt for a Strowman, but Braun Breaker gets out and clotheslines him down. Braun Breaker pulls the straps and down and hits the ropes, but LA Knight boots him down for a near fall. LA Knight attacks Braun Breaker in the corner and puts him on the top rope. LA Knight sets up for a superplex, but Braun Breaker shoves him away. LA Knight leaps to the top rope and hits a superplex. LA Knight goes back to the second rope, does his turn, and leaps to the top rope for a diving elbow drop. LA Knight signs Braun Breaker up. Burn it down. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins runs down. LA Knight scares him back before leaving the ring and chasing him at ringside. Braun Breaker then kills LA Knight with a spear on the floor. Braun Breaker nearly gave himself a DDT on the floor. Braun Breaker gets LA Knight in the ring. A CM Punk chant picks up. Braun Breaker hits a spear for the win. The winner by pinfall, Braun Breaker. This was a fun main event match for what it was. It says Seth Rollins gets in the ring and starts to double team LA Knight with Braun Breaker. Seth Rollins gets in the ring and starts to double team LA Knight with Braun Breaker. Main event, Jey Uso comes out to even the odds. Jey Uso sends Braun Breaker out of the ring and punches away at Seth Rollins. Jey Uso super kicks him down and gets the crowd fired up. Jey Uso ducks a clothesline from Braun Breaker and attacks him. Seth Rollins quickly lays Jey Uso out with a pedigree. The crowd knows who is obviously coming out next. Coming out next. CM Punk comes out to a huge ovation. Braun Breaker charges up the aisleway to attack, but CM Punk punches him back. Braun Breaker lifts him, but CM Punk slides off and sends him into the ring post. The crowd sings Seth Rollins' theme without music. CM Punk gets in the ring and squares off against Seth Rollins. The crowd chants for CM Punk as he takes the World Heavyweight Championship down. Seth Rollins managed to escape with Braun Breaker's help. The Vision back of the Aswell. CM Punk helps Jey Uso as the crowd chants, Seth, you know what? LA Knight and CM Punk getting into a shoving match. Jey Uso tries to stop them, but he gets shoved away. Seth Rollins tells Braun Breaker they're doing the work for them. LA Knight goes for the BFT blunt for Strowman on CM Punk, but CM Punk shoves him into Jey Uso. Jey Uso then super kicks LA Knight down. Jey Uso stands alongside CM Punk before surprising him with a super kick. Jey Uso gets the crowd going. Seth Rollins says Jey Uso stands no chance against him. And WWE Raw goes off the air. Alright, let me get my spam. If you guys enjoy my WWE Raw review on highlights, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel. And go check out my AEW Forbidden Door for reviewing highlights. And I will see you guys on my WWE NXT Heatwave review and highlights. I said I was going to drop that video record that video last night, but I was tired. I had to go get some rest from last night. But I'm going to give you guys my WWE NXT Heatwave review and highlights. And that video is dropping next. But I got to go eat dinner. Once I get done eating dinner, I'm going to come back on my channel and record my WWE NXT Heatwave review and highlights. You guys are going to see the thumbnail for that too. Alright, this your boy B-Boy Snatch on TV, aka what kind of snatch you want, because I got playing around. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Keep your crew, keep your kings, keep your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for my WWE NXT review and highlights. And that's all I gotta say. But I will see you guys next for my WWE NXT Heat Rave review and highlights. But I gotta go eat dinner first. and then I'm going to come back on my YouTube channel, record my WWE NXT Heatwave review and highlights. Because I watched the show last night, and it was a good show last night. Just like AEW Forbidden Door was a good show for what it was last night. Even though AEW Forbidden Door was too long, so that's all I gotta say. All right, have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here, gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet, gang.